The greatest hamburger place ever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not actually, speaking of like just sort of open source and like looking at things openly, I just like going in and out and seeing them make the burger.
Yeah, it's right there.
They chop the onions and they you just see everything getting made in front of you.
Yeah.
It's great. But yeah, it should be like, how many wake-up calls do you need?
And you got Gavin Newsom, who's running around saying we all have California derangement syndrome. He's just like ripping off Trump derangement and calling it California derangement. It's like, no. How many corporations have left California?
It's crazy.
Hundreds.
Yes, hundreds.
Right?
The clash between Joe Rogan and California Governor Gavin Newsom has officially escalated, and now Elon Musk has stepped straight into the firestorm. What began as pointed criticism has evolved into a full-scale confrontation, with Rogan unloading relentless commentary on Newsom's leadership and California's controversial direction. Musk added his own unfiltered perspective, amplifying the debate with blunt observations about the state's policies and priorities. The result is a volatile mix of sharp humor, serious accusations, and political theater that's impossible to ignore. There's tension, there's sarcasm, and there's plenty to unpack. Strap in, because this conversation isn't just loud, it's revealing.
But there's always something. That's what's nuts. There's always some new law that's passed, some new insane thing that California's doing.
Yeah.
And it's like a giant chunk of it's happening in California. The most preposterous things that I get.
Yeah.
How many corporations have left California?
It's crazy.
Hundreds.
Yes, hundreds.
Right? Hundreds.
Yes.
That's not good.
I think In-N-Out left.
Yeah, In-N-Out left. They moved to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, we can't do this anymore.
Right. And
it's the California company for food. It's
Yes.
like the greatest hamburger place ever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not actually, speaking of like just sort of open source and like looking at things openly, I just like going in and out and seeing them make the burger.
California has watched a steady exodus of Fortune 500 companies, and many critics point squarely at Governor Newsom's administration as the driving force behind what they call an increasingly hostile business climate. The list of departures is staggering. Tesla made waves in 2021 when it moved its headquarters from Palo Alto to Austin, citing heavy regulations, soaring living costs, and a bureaucracy that stifled innovation. Oracle followed, relocating from Redwood City to Texas in search of lower taxes and operational freedom. Even Chevron, rooted in California for more than a century, relocated its base to Houston in 2024 after years of regulatory pressure and rising expenses. One exit after another tells a troubling story. California's once celebrated economic formula may be faltering, pushing away the very companies that built its reputation as a global powerhouse.
But yeah, it should be like, how many wake-up calls do you need to say that it needs to be reform in California? You know?
Well, the crazy thing that Newsom does is whenever someone brings up the problems in California, he starts rattling off all the positives. The most Fortune 500 companies, highest education. But yeah, that was all already there
right.
before you were governor.
But how many Fortune 500 companies have left California?
Right. And then you guys spent $24 billion on the homeless, and it got way worse.
Yes. Like the homeless population doubled or something. People don't understand the homeless thing, because it sort of preys on people's empathy, and I think we should have empathy, and we should try to help people.
When you stop and really process it, the numbers are almost unbelievable. California has spent a staggering $24 billion addressing homelessness, yet the crisis has nearly doubled instead of shrinking. And at this point, few people are shocked. The issue isn't just funding, it's strategy. Rather than restoring neighborhoods and helping people rebuild stable lives, policies have unintentionally normalized street living as a long-term condition. Massive encampments dominate sidewalks and parks, transforming once busy districts into zones of despair. Programs framed as compassionate often sustain dependency rather than progress. The outcome is a grim loop. Billions spent, little change achieved, and thousands trapped in a system that promises hope but delivers stagnation. What remains is a heartbreaking example of good intentions overtaken by dysfunction.
The homeless industrial complex is really, it's dark, man. That network of NGOs should be called like the drug zombie farmers, because the more homeless people and really, like when you meet somebody who's like totally dead inside, shuffling along down the street with a needle dangling out of their leg, homeless is the wrong word. Like, homeless implies that somebody got a little behind on their mortgage payments, and if they just got a job offer, they'd be back on their feet. But someone who's, I mean, you see these videos of people that are just shuffling, they're on fentanyl, they're like, taking a dump in the middle of the street, and they got like open sores and stuff. They're not like one job offer away from getting back on their feet.
Musk's criticism hits a nerve because it highlights an uncomfortable truth. Some groups cloak themselves in the language of compassion while benefiting from a system that keeps money flowing without delivering real results. Many individuals living on the streets aren't simply victims of circumstance. They're caught in cycles of addiction and untreated mental illness without structured paths forward. What's missing isn't empathy, but decisive action. That means robust recovery programs, expanded access to mental health care, and targeted drug treatment in high-risk areas. Pair those efforts with transitional housing and real workforce reintegration, and lasting recovery becomes possible. Until then, California's approach continues to reward failure, funneling billions into programs that manage the problem instead of solving it. That's not just a policy failure, it's a human one.
It's a propaganda word,
right?
So, and then the these sort of charities, in quotes, they get money proportionate to the number of homeless people or number of drug zombies.
Right.
So their incentive structure is to maximize the number of drug zombies, not minimize it.
Right.
That's why they don't arrest the drug dealers. Because if they arrest the drug dealers, the drug zombies leave. So they know who the drug dealers are. They don't arrest them on purpose, because otherwise the drug zombies would leave, and they would stop getting money from the state of California and from all the charities.
This reality explains why California keeps spending enormous sums on homelessness while conditions deteriorate. Much of the funding never reaches those who need it most. Instead, it disappears into a maze of nonprofits, consultants, and administrative layers focused on activity rather than outcomes. It's a familiar pattern, one echoed when federal audits revealed that portions of aid programs were being consumed by overhead instead of relief. California's situation mirrors that dynamic. When resources meant to change lives end up sustaining middlemen, the system stops serving the public and starts protecting itself. The state doesn't lack funding. It lacks accountability, buried beneath rhetoric that sounds compassionate but avoids oversight.
Is that real? So they're in coordination with law enforcement on this?
Yeah. This is a diabolical scam. And San Francisco's got this tax, this gross receipts tax, which it's not even on revenue, it's on all transactions, which is why Stripe and Square and a whole bunch of financial companies had to move out of San Francisco, because it wasn't a tax on revenue, it's a tax on transactions. So if you did trillions of dollars transactions, it's not revenue, you're taxed on any money going through the system in San Francisco. And that money goes to the homeless industrial complex, that tax that was passed. So there's billions of dollars that go, as you pointed out, billions of dollars every year that go to these non-governmental organizations that are funded by the...
San Francisco, once the shining symbol of innovation and tech ambition, is now watching its reputation erode as businesses depart en masse. Under the pressure of steep taxes, dense regulation, and policies that punish success, companies find survival increasingly difficult. What was once a beacon of creativity has become a warning sign of how mismanagement can drive opportunity away. Critics place Governor Newsom at the center of this unraveling, arguing that his leadership coincides with economic decline, rising homelessness, and growing crime. Despite warnings from residents and business leaders alike, the administration continues doubling down on the same approach. The frustration is mounting, and calls for accountability are growing louder.
It's a self-licking ice cream cone situation. They get this money. The money is proportionate to the number of homeless people or number of drug zombies, essentially. So they try to keep that. They try to actually increase, because that like in some cases, like it's somebody did an analysis. When you add up all the money that's flowing, they're getting close to $1 million per homeless per drug zombie. It's like $900,000, something like some crazy amount of money is going to these organizations. They need to keep them in the area so they get the revenue, They don't arrest the drug dealers because otherwise the drug zombies would leave. So they're kept in this sort of perpetual zone of being addicted, but just barely alive.
California's homelessness crisis will only end when leadership decides to end it, not merely talk about it. Real reform requires courage, not carefully staged compassion. For years, activists have argued that leaving people on the streets is humane, but that mindset normalizes suffering rather than solving it. What's needed are results-driven policies, structured rehabilitation, expanded mental health treatment, cleanup of unsafe encampments, and truly affordable transitional housing. This isn't about cruelty. It's about dignity, safety, and responsibility. If denial continues to replace action, the consequences won't stay confined to California. Failed policies have a way of spreading, turning a local crisis into a regional one.
So how is this coordinated with like DAs that don't prosecute people?
Yeah.
So when they hire or they push, so they fund the campaigns of the most progressive, most out there left-wing DAs. They get them into office.
We've got that issue in Austin too, by the way. So some friends of mine were telling me that like the library's unsafe. Like they took their kids to the library, and there were like dangerous people in the library in Austin. And I was like, dangerous people in the library? Like that's a strange. It basically get like drug zombies in the library.
Oh, Jesus.
If Elon Musk's claims are accurate, California's homelessness crisis may be sustained by those positioned to fix it. He suggests the system has evolved into an industry benefiting consultants, nonprofits, and political operatives who rely on continuous funding. Instead of tackling root causes like addiction and unemployment, billions are poured into programs that appear productive but yield minimal results. The illusion of progress keeps the cycle alive. If true, this isn't accidental, it's structural. Musk argues the crisis has become a political tool, framed as proof of inequality while funds vanish into bureaucracy. Meanwhile, encampments grow, public safety erodes, and residents feel increasingly unsafe. The fear is real, and many believe rising crime is inseparable from unchecked homelessness. It's a crisis fueled by broken incentives and sustained by optics over solutions.
Wasn't there a crazy story about the judge who was involved, who had previously dealt with this person, was also invested in a rehabilitation center and was sending these
conflict of interest?
Yes. So sending people that they were charging to a rehabilitation center instead of putting them in jail, profiting from this rehabilitation center, letting them back out on the street.
Yes, and
violent, insane people.
And there, in that case, I believe that judge has no law degree or a significant legal experience that would allow them to be a judge.
Joe Rogan summed it up bluntly. Too many people benefit from failure. That's why the crisis never ends. An entire ecosystem profits from dysfunction. Politicians repeating slogans, consultants billing endlessly, nonprofits expanding while outcomes stagnate. Then came the moment that stripped away every excuse. During a high-profile foreign visit, homeless encampments vanished almost overnight. Years of explanations evaporated in a single day, proving the problem isn't impossible, it's inconvenient. The takeaway was undeniable. California has the capacity to act, but not the willingness to disrupt the power and profit tied to the status quo. The streets aren't dirty because solutions don't exist. They're dirty because too many people are invested in keeping them that way.
I have friends that are comedians that called you a and I got pissed off.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Like not
definitely. No, because you did that thing at the My Heart Goes Out
like
to You.
Everyone
everyone, all of them.
Literally.
Tim Walz, Kamala Harris, every one of them did it. They all did it.
How do you point at the crowd? How do you wave at the crowd?
Do you know CNN was using a photo of me whenever I got in trouble during COVID?
Oh, man.
From the UFC weigh-ins. And if the UFC weigh-ins, I go, hey, everybody, welcome to the weigh-ins. And so they were getting me from the side. And that was the photo that they used. Conspiracy theorist podcaster Joe Rogan. Like, that's what they used.
Yeah, but that's what the left is today. It's super judgy and calling everyone.
When influential voices challenge the far-left establishment, the response is predictable. Vilification, distortion, and relentless smearing. Joe Rogan experienced it firsthand. Elon Musk followed after defending open dialogue. The same pattern has played out repeatedly. Label critics as threats, flood the media with outrage, and silence dissent. It's not about truth. It's about control. Anyone who questions the narrative becomes a target. California's crisis reflects that larger reality. Billions are spent, streets grow more dangerous, and leadership avoids accountability. The evidence is clear. The state could fix this, but doing so would threaten entrenched interests that profit from disorder. And that's where we leave it. If this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe for more deep dives, and drop your thoughts below. I'll see you in the next one.